Let's talk about males today, if they hold warlock energy, vampire energy, bad boy energy. We talked about Jezebel energy with women. Let's talk about energy that's off with males, with men, okay? So when we are navigating our journey and our relationships of where we've been and where we're going, we're learning. We're taking a step back. We're learning. We're observing. We're not taking it personal. We're taking that out. We're throwing that out. So if you've been with one, if you are with one right now, or you're learning about one, someone's coming in your energy, or you just want to know for the future, it's important. This wisdom's important that there's different energies out there that are dangerous, toxic, or just, bad. You just want to refrain from them, okay? So we want to be conscious of our choices with relationships, because relationships are so hard. They are the most difficult experience, one of the most difficult experiences, if not the most, on earth to navigate through, um, to learn about, to experience, and to be able to handle that experience and what you do with it, right? So when you're with a male, with a man, or you're, addressing the energy, let's address their energy. What type do warlocks and vampire energy and bad boy, what do they bring? Okay, what do they bring to the table? Well, most of the time, it usually starts with physical attraction and the intimacy. It always goes to that. But most of the time it starts with the words. They're always reeling you in. They're reeling you in for you to, they tell you what you want to hear. But your gut's always turning. And you're like, okay, well, no, they're telling me this. But your gut's turning. Something's off. That's when you know. So usually they'll show up and they're telling you everything that you want to hear, but you still feel something's off. That's how you know that they could be holding an energy that's not in alignment with you. And if it's that type of energy, like warlock, vampire, bad boy, or even just not in alignment with you, listen to your gut, okay? Because you're bringing this to the table. They ain't bringing that to the table, but they're telling you they are, okay? So the warlock, the dangerous, the bad energy, they're always telling you and reeling you in with words, okay? There's no actions to back it up. Their actions usually throw you off, but maybe in the beginning they do. For the first 6 months. It's usually for about 6 months. Usually people cannot hold their mask more than 6 to 8 months. They can't hold and portray something that's not true to them. Okay, so let's discuss the evil ones, the warlock ones, the ones that are, really dangerous. They're always telling you what you want to hear, but their actions don't match up. And then you start noticing within 6 to 8 months, you start seeing patterns of behavior, of lashing out, being mean to others. They're not respectful. They start to, talk to you in an unkind way, meaning they're mean and malicious, and they just say things that are really trying to bring you down. But in the beginning is where people get hooked. That's where we want to see, what are they bringing to the table in the beginning. It's always the words, the intimacy, the physical stuff, but it's not the action, okay? The action, they're not bringing the action with them. And sometimes they may not even know they're being, they're just in like a really bad cycle. Maybe they're not even conscious of it. But the people that are evil, they're usually conscious of it. They know when they're bad. They know when they are trying to take from somebody, or are trying to harm or hurt them. and take from them, okay, control them. So a lot of men have pride issues and control because, they have that leadership mentality, or, the one that is more in control in society than women, whatever, they're just made like that. But some of them, that's when they'll start showing those control tendencies in about 6 to 8 months. But in the beginning, you'll start seeing red flags if you just pay attention. And, if it was in your past, go over it. What was the red flags that they were showing? Your intuition. Your intuition's always telling you, hey, they were aggressive with somebody. They were being mean. They were talking, not very kind words about their ex. They're very mean about their ex. They don't have a good relationship with their mom and dad. They substance abuse. They're just, really out of balance. They always need me. They're always feeling heavy. But you got to watch out for the evil ones and the ones that are controlling. And it always has to be their way. They're not willing to evolve and grow. And they're just, there to just be mean and take and be evil and really bring you down in your life and hold you back. That's that type of, warlock energy. They're trying to use you for something, for whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't feel good. And evil people, your stomach will turn. Your stomach will turn in knots. If it's just an energy vampire and they're just sucking you dry, that's another level. Okay? Most of them, they're just not intelligent, or they're blocking it off, or, it's just their karma to be that way. Maybe they're just blocked off from wisdom. But most energy vampires, they're just there to take from you because they don't know how to show up for their life. So they, even for you to validate them, people who need validated, that's an energy vampire. People who need you to walk them around and be, hold their hand and do everything for them, that's an energy vampire. So people that are controlling and telling you what to do, that's an energy vampire. If they feel heavy and they're sucking you dry, that person, that man, is an energy vampire. Whether it's through validation, love feels really heavy when people need love from you. That stuff feels heavy. It feels like a vampire, you know what I mean? But the warlocks, man, they need you to show up a certain way. They always want you to show up a certain way. They're controlling, but they manipulate it with love and emotion, and they just bring both of it into form. You know what I mean? But it's fake love. It's not real. It's only conditional. So they're bringing in the words and the emotions, the manipulation. They're bringing their bad side and they're just mixing it all up. Okay, they can't control it. It's all out of whack, and they're just there to take from you. They're just there to take from you, whether it's just to control you, to be somebody that they need, to be somebody, to fulfill a void, to fulfill what they lack. And that could be a warlock or vampire. If someone needs you to fulfill a void, that is some warlock vampire energy. Okay? Now, like I said, there's different levels. That's why you want to use discernment on, like, are they evil or are they just bad? Okay? A lot of bad boys, they need that healing and the transformation. They're so usually messed up from their childhood, and they're just bringing that. They're bringing that here. Okay? Some people may seem really bad, but they actually just have so many issues that they didn't address from their childhood. And most of the warlock energy and the vampire energy is from that. It's from their childhood. So when people understand that a lot of this stuff derives from people's childhood about how their parents are, and how they were raised a lot, then it helps you see people differently and be like, oh, that's the way that they are. They haven't broke that karmic cycle. They may just be a bad seed, though. If they're straight up evil, they're just a bad seed. Okay, there are just some bad seeds out there. That's just the way that it is. Okay, it's just the way that life is. It's not personal. It's just some people out there was just born as a bad seed, and it's for people to learn from, but stay away from it. Okay. Now, say you have went through some really bad trauma with this toxic behavior and abuse and really bad violence and traumatized from a person that was really evil. That's okay. What'd you learn from it? It's there to level you up and help you become who you're supposed to become. You gain from that pain. You let it make you stronger and wiser. And you love the good and the bad, even though it was really bad and painful. What did you learn from that? That warlock taught you lessons. The warlock and the vampire energy, those types of energies that are in those types of mindsets, they are actually teaching you. Okay? They're teaching you. What'd you learn? And when you step back and you're like, oh, well, I should make better choices. I should listen to my intuition next time. Perfect. It's teaching you about you. It's teaching you about dark energy, what it feels like to be in it, what it feels like to be with a person like that. You don't want that in your future. You're going to use discernment and, navigate as you go forward on your relationships. But now you know what it was like to experience something like that. That builds you. It builds who you are. So being around that type of energy, it's okay. It's not like, don't feel guilty or any regrets. It built you. I don't care if you've lost everything. That's fine. You'll build it all back. Not a big deal. The physical is irrelevant. Your energy is important. How you think, how you feel. And if you're in the middle of it and you're in a relationship like that, it's time to build some inner strength and walk away. Okay? Start taking care of yourself. Building a stronger inner world. Talking yourself into it. Then you'll be able to build that strength to walk away from relationship that feels like warlock energy, that's evil, controlling, abusive, violent, or energy that is just a vampire that just sucks you dry, that needs you. They show up fine. It's just they just need you to fill their lack. They need you to fill it, their limited their limitations. They're void. And then they realize you're not ever going to be able to do it. So it's in this constant nasty cycle, toxic cycle, right? Either way. So when we address reading energy, where we've been, where we're at, where we're going, we want to say, hey, what type of energy am I dealing with? You don't even have to know the different types. Just if the person feels off, if the man feels off, check your stomach, listen to your intuition, especially if it's making you sick. Listen to it the first time. Here's where we mess up. We use resilience and perseverance sometimes in the wrong way. And we will shove that feeling to the side, not listen, and go into that energy. So the biggest message today is always listen to your intuition. Go to your gut. Is it feel really, really good, or does it feel sick? Okay? Because these people can talk a good game, and they can talk their way through and suck you into their illusion and suck you into their world and make you think and feel a certain way, and then turn on you when you least expect it. Or turn on you in general. They could hurt, harm you, whatever it is. And it could be physically, it could be emotionally, it could just be, in general. Like, you know what I mean? It hurts in general. So even when a guy is not in your alignment, you're going to know it doesn't feel good. A lot of people, they're just not, they're leveling up and growing, but they're not exactly where you are. That's okay. Say no. Learn to trust your intuition, validate it, and stay on course on what man is actually right for you. But it's highly important that you know about the types of evil energy, the bad boy energy, so you can navigate through that and understand that there are evil people that do exist. There are people that seem like bad boys, and we don't want to judge them, but they have just, carried their trauma and their unhealed karmic patterns with them, and it's just built up, and that's just who they are because they haven't learned how to break those karmic cycles and transmute and level up. It's okay, but if you don't show up like that, walk away. If they don't bring what you bring to the table, walk away. But those people are teaching you. You're learning from them, so it's exciting. You're learning about dark energy if you've experienced it, and you're learning about vampire energy if you've experienced it. And if you haven't and you do, that's okay. Don't be scared. You're going to be able to have free will and free choice to walk away. But if your intuition is screaming at you that the person's evil, that the person's dangerous, that the person is, not a good person for you, it is not for your highest good, please listen. Because there's a lot of women that get into very dangerous situations, or men if you're with men. There's a lot of people that get into dangerous situations and they wish they would have listened to their intuition. They wish they would have showed up and picked that, feeling that they had and not went with what that person was pulling them into. Because they wasn't strong enough, they wasn't connected, and they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing to keep that connection strong, to keep in that vibration. And also, you could have been led to that experience because it was for your journey, though. Okay, so don't have any regrets. No matter where you're at, where you're going, no regrets. If you're being led to experience some dark energy, it's just for your journey. Don't be scared. Just know you can get out of it and choose to get out of it when you need to. Listen, okay? But if it's screaming it's a no, listen to your intuition. This is a validation and a confirmation today that when you get approached by a male, if they are off and evil, you will feel sick. Listen to it. Do not ignore it and push it away with your resilience and, our abilities, because you can do that. You can ignore your intuition and those thoughts. Hey, that person's off. It's dangerous. You can ignore that. You can ignore that feeling. But today, now you know, hey, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to listen. I'm going to use discernment with my choices, because sometimes you'll make some pretty bad choices with dark energy and it'll ruin your life for, like 10 years. You'll be held back. So you just want to be conscious with your choices, right? And if you get held back and, you went through that, it's a part of your journey. It's okay. So no matter what, shift your perspective, address the energy with males, what they're bringing to the table, and say, hey, what type of level is this guy on? Is he a warlock, an evil energy vampire? Is he just not in alignment with me? He's growing, but he's just not there yet. He's 10 years behind me. Wherever it's at, we're going to use discernment on where males are, what they're bringing to the table of the energy, especially if it's evil and dangerous and heavy. It's the biggest message today. If they feel off, if they feel you just can't put your finger on it, something's off, but they're trying to spin this narrative, hey, they're this person, but your intuition's saying they're not that person, you know what I mean? And you don't listen, you'll end up in a situation you don't want to be. But no matter what, know you can get through it. It's important to know each separate a little bit of the energy so you can kind of navigate through the different energies, because we get tested on each level. So say you learn about the evil ones, then you're going to learn about the people who suck you dry. You know what I mean? They may show up as a good person, but they still are sucking you dry because they don't take care of their, inner world, their energy. Or there's the people that are growing and evolving. Obviously, they feel good, but they're just not on your level yet. You know what I mean? You're just at a top level and you don't want to go down. So that feels not good too, if that makes any sense. So hopefully that helps you navigate through the different energies as males approach you and you are have experienced it, you're doing it now, or as you navigate going forward. And if you're in a relationship right now and it's really bad or it's just off and heavy, you're going to take the steps that you need to release that relationship and walk away. Okay, that's what you're learning today. You're learning to walk away for your better good. That confirmation and validation, always do what resonates for you. How you feel, what you feel is right for you. Okay, if you want to stay with the evil person, that's fine. You just learn about it. But if you are ready to, level up and go to the next level, you'll be approached by different energies. I'm just letting you know so that you're aware of where you're going on your spiritual journey as you navigate through warlocks, vampires, bad boys, and just people not on your alignment. And, the bad boys can be the vampires or the warlock energy. Okay, there's different labels out there. That's the only reason why I'm using them. But just use discernment on what type of energy is it bringing. Is it bringing a low vibration or a high vibration? Does it feel really heavy or does it feel really light? If it feels really, really sick and real bad, that person's very low frequency. If it feels really, really good, yeah, that's fine. You're just navigating, you're learning how to trust yourself as you navigate relationships with men. I hope that helped and resonated. And you got this on your journey. Listen to yourself, trust yourself. You don't really know what's going to happen. It's okay. Have that faith that you'll get through it, that believe in yourself, that you can navigate through these types of energies and understand it. If you fall into it, it's okay. You can fall right back. You can get right back out. Okay? If you're in it right now, you can get out of it. Have that motivation, that inspiration, that validation, that choosing yourself is the best thing that you can do. Listening to your intuition, it's leading you to your good path, to the right path, to the path to your highest good. So if it's screaming at you to save your life because that person's evil, listen, because you're sucked into that illusion. If they're just heavy, listen, because they ain't growing. You can communicate if you want. You can communicate with them, but most people aren't willing to grow or evolve that heaviness. If they are, that's great. You can communicate with them. That's fine. Okay? All right. I will see you next video.